100 years later, he finally continues his Lovecraft series. It takes a while sometimes for us to go back and check our old stuff. Some tropes you should look for if you were to be interested in writing a Lovecraftian story, or if you were reading one. The things you're going to look for are very intelligent main characters. He's not a racist writer, mind you. I got to put this out here. The first thing, if you're a fan of Lovecraft, I ain't mad at you, and I don't think you're some racist. Everybody wrote like that back then. Everybody noticed everybody's race back then. It's a totally different time period, and I am not here to feel like I'm above other people just because I'm from another time period. That is culturist. Since people love to have ists and everything, well, that's like being against somebody else's culture, which is something we're really not for these days. Culture changes. Things shift, things change. That's it. So, bottom line on that subject, that's just not the case. Dude is not racist any more than anybody else from back then. That's called facts. Look into facts. They're called undisputable truths. Everyone was like that. They can't even read frickin' Mark Twain in schools anymore. I mean, come on now. If that doesn't, and he was always considered a great American writer and so on. So, just as a heads up. Okay, now back in the subject. It's not about tentacles. It's not about teeth and eyes and all this. It's about, I guess, what you call xenophobia, people would call, which is fear of the strange, fear of things you don't understand. A very normal thing for people to feel. Generally speaking, dude's going to have sort of undescribed amorphous characters that have like a couple of words attached to them. He uses similar words a lot. I'm not going to go into that because I don't pick on people who are from a different time period. But to write the stories properly, you're going to get someone who's pretty much the best in their field. They're never an action-based character, really, like physically action-packed. They're not like big tough guys. They're not Arnold Schwarzeneggers. They're smart, intelligent people. So what happens is they see something really fear-inducing, and it makes them pretty much lose their mind. So a big part of a Lovecraft story is grips on reality. How we see things from beginning to the end and change. Or changed by the end. And also a large majority of his books are written in a letter format. Like a letter written to you and their actual mythology. Where it's basically telling you about gods. And it all stems from cosmosis, which is what I believe, or cosmology, or whatever you want to say. I'm not a cosmetologist, I ain't doing makeup. But I worship the gods. I believe, Earth is our god, Gaia, if you will. I don't know what you call that, a hedonist maybe? I don't know. I don't even care. But I don't have anything against your religion. I don't have anything against your politics. I'm completely and utterly political, excuse me. I know everything there is to know about politics, generally speaking. I'm very intelligent, and I obviously went to school and all that good stuff, went to college. I ain't no dummy, which is why I know it's just run by the banks, and it's just there for them to stay in power and continue to be rich while you continue to be a slave. But that's just a story for another day. To write a good Lovecraft story, you have to get rid of the usual physical action scenes. You have to do suspense, thrillers with horror, supernatural elements based on intelligent characters who are seeing something beyond their intelligence. Basically, that is going to blow their mind and blow them out of the water and cause them to question reality and to question what they believed beforehand. So it's a good version of like what they do continually in comics, where they tear down what was before. Deconstruction. It's a deconstruction of styles. And it's also some of the first horror that was very, very popular, like on an everyday basis from the pulp magazines, way back in the olden days. And it's unfortunate that people like Lovecraft and Tesla died poor people. Very influential, great characters of interest. And personally, I think about writing a story, mixing those two people together and making a character out of that. So maybe I'll do that, as I'm a creative person myself. I've actually considered showing you guys some of my stories and showing you some of my art and stuff like that, but I didn't know if anyone was interested. And that's a sensitive subject. You show it and you don't get a lot of love as a person, even as a tough guy. It bugs you a little bit, and you're like, why did I even bother? But that was always a thought of mine as a YouTube channel, was getting as big as I could so that I could start making my books and actually selling them to people. If they were interested, obviously. I wouldn't be every video, check out my Indiegogo, like certain other people who show you the same freaking beginning of their videos for the first 30 seconds to a minute every time. Here's my sales on my Indiegogo. Here's my Kickstarter. It's Indiegogo, bro. Do not go to Kickstarter. They take more percentage out of your stuff, and they don't make as much. Indiegogo is the way to go, buddy. Anyway, just thought I'd put it out there, my little message on... Oh, my tripod has been shifted. My little message on Lovecraft. And some tropes and some thoughts on him and how to properly do a story of his and what to look for in a story of his. Have a good one. Just thought I'd do a quick vlog, probably a blog, and check in with your boy Gregor. Sammy! Yeah. Talk to me below. Let's talk. Adios.